Fantasy HQ podcast, all things NRL fantasy. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook. Your hosts, Frosty and Steve-O. Frosty, mate, how's it going? Live stream here.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Steve-O. I'm looking forward to this one.
Not sure if anyone's going to jump on board, but it's just popped up on my phone as a notification to be live, so we will find out.
Beautiful. That is the one.
For the time being, though, sort of going to give it a few minutes. Hopefully get one or two people on board, and then, get underway a little bit.
Rip into it. I have not managed this at all well. Fantasy. That one. And what? Just about sub 1 hour to kick off for round 5.
Brad Thompson in the chat. Yes, fellas. How's it, Brad? Good to see you, mate.
That's the way to get involved.
I do hear, Brad, you have a couple of questions that you've either asked earlier or asking a few tonight. So we look forward to answering those.
Yes, fellas. A couple of good points as well, so I'm looking forward to Brad's input after we hopefully get a couple more on board.
Just going to put these in a couple chats.
Now, tell you what, Brad, can you just flick me a quick message, let me know if this is echoey or not.
Yeah, let us know if we're sounding all right there, Brad. It'd be great. Zero echo. Happy days.
There we go.
Got 6 people in the chat now, so slowly building.
That's the way.
If you are in the chat listening, be sure to leave a message and give us a question we can ask, and we're going to get into it pretty shortly. Frosty, you looking forward to the league tonight? Have you put yourself on mute, Frosty?
Now am I back?
Yeah, you're
playing
back.
Around here, eh?
You're back now, mate.
Yeah, okay. Hopefully that's all right.
So tonight's league, Dolphins versus Manly.
Looking forward to the first game under Foz. Ditch that. Right, now do you have me, Steve-O? Scrap the old thing on my screen. It should be smooth sailing from here.
You just stay with us now, Frosty. First game under Foz, what do you reckon? They go all right tonight?
I don't think he's changed too much week 1, which sort of makes sense. So it'd be interesting. It might be much the same with wee wrinkles, but I think it will take a few rounds for him to change anything if that is going to be the case. So early doors, I don't think he'll want to be upsetting the apple cart too much, and he'll be hoping that his appointment and the players respecting what he's done for that jersey and that club will be enough to sort of turn the ship in the right direction.
So earlier today, we both picked Dolphins winning. Do you have any thoughts that maybe Manly do get up? I'm not sure if Aaron Zamey's in the chat, but if he was, I think he'd be pretty confident that his Manly team can get up and get a win tonight.
Yeah, uh, he was a little bit gobsmacked to see what was unfolding. Caught up with him last weekend. I was having a wee chuckle to see Foz at the helm there. Obviously, no one probably expected that. So I think he'll be sitting in the couch tonight, fairly nervous in the lead up to kick off, but no doubt he'll be in behind the boys 100%. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I think he knows he's up against it against an attacking Dolphin side.
What's your score prediction?
Dolphins 30 plus,
30
Manly
plus
sub.
or 13?
Uh, for their score, like Dolphins to score more than 30 points,
Oh, shit.
Manly to score 18 or less.
I do think the Dolphins are going to run away with it in this game, to be honest with you. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
And Zamo did put through the message. If his Manly boys could do one thing for him, it would be stop Herbie scoring 100 tonight. So there's the top of the list for Zamo tonight. And I am right behind him because as a non-Herbie owner, I'm certainly nervous going into this sort of matchup.
We've just had a comment as well from Peter Taylor. Thanks, Peter, for getting in touch. But he's just gone, captaining Herbie, let's go.
Yeah.
Brave.
He certainly won't be hoping Herbie scores under 100.
Honestly, I think it's brave. I think it's a good option tonight.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Just looking at the teams have just come in. Sea Eagles are 1 through 19, no changes. I might have missed the Dolphins though, but we'll keep an eye on that. But no changes for the Seagulls. Tommy Turbo, do you reckon he goes big again?
I do hope so. Like, I'm a massive Turbo fan, and I do feel sorry for the poor bloke over the last few seasons with the injury run. Being captain this year, I think it's sort of taken him back to another level. Like, everyone thought he's sort of fading away, but he certainly picked it back up and he's gone up a couple of notches. So it's been great to see. And I don't think Dolphins are overly defensively solid. So I would be expecting to see Turbo at least 45, if not 55 plus tonight.
Another one there, Malabar. Thank you for your comment. He's just said he's going Herbs too. So few captains going Herbie. Herbie's actually on screen now. He's having a chat to Fox Sports. So Herbie Farnworth last week, 4 offloads, 9 tackle busts, 19 runs. I mean, if he does that again this week, add a try into that and he could be going 80 this week. So definitely a good option. We still haven't settled on our captaincy option for our team yet. And by time of kickoff, Frosty, we need to make sure we've got it locked in. So are you still on the Captain Cleary, or are you sort of joining my idea of the Captain Walsh?
I have sat on that since we spoke about that, and it's popped up in the mind a couple of times today. Now, the more I think about it dangerously, the more I sort of want to side with you and go Walsh. But gee, just in my mind, if he goes 40 to 45 and Cleary goes 70 plus, I will just be hitting my head against the brick wall, just saying, "Why did you do it? Why did you do it?" So I don't mind Walsh, and I think if we are going to go him for a captain run, this week would be the one against the Titans, because if we can't do it against the Titans, there's probably not many other sides we're going to do it. So yeah, starting to lean more in your favour, Steve-O.
I'm genuinely considering it for my team. I think if I had Herbie tonight, I'd be just about going Herbie tonight as well.
I do see Cameron Hill there with probably going to rain, and it's windy tonight in Redcliffe. So, I mean, that's one thing we probably need to look into. And being a couple of Kiwi chaps, we don't tend to pull up the Aussie weather too much. So, if someone could drop a comment in with some good insight into the weather in and around Redcliffe, because I think that is something to keep note of. If it is raining and wet, slippery conditions, does it favour Herbie to go large? Maybe not so much. I'm not sure.
I do have the live Sky Sports on build up to the game. So if I do see that in the crowd, I will make mention. Malabar there asked the question, Joshua Papali'i or Farley. We didn't talk too much about Papali'i, fullback for the Eels for about the next 6 to 8 weeks. I assume he keeps that spot unless he goes really poorly. He's about 260k. What's your thoughts? Do you like bringing him in? He's got a break even of 38. That's the thing that sort of worries me. It's a sort of a player that can potentially give you a 20 and actually be losing money at 260k.
Yeah, I think this guy is just super unfortunate um, with the lead-up games. In round one there, he played 10 minutes off the bench to cover an HIA to Iongi, and he scored a whopping one against the Storm. And so that set him back, and then he's played 37 minutes last week for an 11 against the Panthers. So he's had an awful run of luck, and that's really set his break even and his money-making chances backwards for the next 3 rounds. Now, if he can average, 35 in those 3 weeks, the tide will turn. Apparently, Iongi is needing surgery, which will push that to actually 8 weeks plus instead of the 6 to 8 that we originally thought. So if it is surgery and it's more, say, 10 to 12, these initial 2 to 3 rounds aren't as important because he'll still get those 7, 8, maybe 9 rounds to make money. So with that news, I don't mind it. Certainly don't be expecting anything major. I wouldn't be having him as a scoring wing fullback. But if you can have him, slot him in as a 21st position player, I don't mind it for the next 9 to 10 weeks.
I definitely would have been playing him unless you can loop him in and you've got Setu 2 that you've got starting and you've got, say, Joshua above like a Failongu or something like that. And you want to, if Joshua goes really good, scores, 60 plus, maybe you play him, you keep him there. But I'd want to have a back out option basically.
Yeah, and I think, with Malabar there, I think it is the right choice if you're going him or Farley because, like we mentioned earlier in the week on one of our episodes, Farley could play this week and himself either go poorly or the Dragons lose 5 straight and he'd be straight out and 2 gets another chance. So the job security really isn't great for Farley, where at least with Joash, he's got a solid probably 10 plus weeks you're looking at.
Just showing my team there, I'm holding at the moment. I do plan on making a change during the stream, but I am holding Leo and 2. And next week, I'm going to pivot to who I think has the best job security and looks to be a good scorer. If it is Farley, if it is Papali'i, if it is Fletcher Hunt, someone like that. So I'm going to be holding tight this weekend because at the moment, I've sort of got 3 players that I could be playing in my 17 and just trying to figure out that configuration. So not 100% sure yet. I do have, who do we have there? Cameron Hills, Herbie, possible captain. If you're desperate, then try Walsh. So if we're desperate, are we desperate enough to go Walsh with the captaincy? Rank 13,000? Is that desperate times?
Yeah, I mean, against the Titans, you would like to think he's not going to stink it up. I mean, if he chucks out a 20 to a 30, I would be horrendously filthy. And he'd be taking a few rounds to get over that. But I just can't see it. I can't see the Titans locking him up. The Titans' edge defense last week and usually week in, week out is really, really subpar. So I do think REECE WALSH and the Broncos edges, both sides, will have a field day. And that can only be good news for him. So, yeah, if you are looking at Walsh like ourselves, I don't think it's as risky as other weeks and matchups.
Break Thompson asked the question, is Latrell a pod option for captaincy against Frosty's Dogs? Now, we've just brought Latrell into our Fantasy HQ team, and I think if we were really big dogs, we would captain Latrell, because I every reason he can go and get a big score this week. So, but is that a bit stupid doing that, Frosty? Bringing him in and captaining him? The good thing...
I mean, I think for... Yeah, far away, Steve.
The good thing is, it's already 24 hours out. He's not out of the team. There's just about... Unless he was to do something in warm-ups, that's the only risk. Because he does play early tomorrow night. So he's already past the 24-hour updates.
Yeah, and I'm just looking, because we mentioned the weather for tonight's game at Redcliffe there for the Dolphins Manly. Just pulled up Sydney's weather. Now, off this site, which is run through the Aussie government. It's not looking great. It's looking like there's a bit of rain around Sydney tomorrow, so it might be the same boat as tonight. Dogs, bunnies might be in a bit of wet. So if that is the case, I'm never in favour of outside backs in the wet. I think it's a dangerous game. It's usually a forward dominant game up through the middle, and there's not as many points. So for us, I think that worries me slightly.
Does that worry you more about Cleary as well? Because, I mean, Broncos are playing in the Gold Coast. If the weather's a lot better there than Sydney, running rugby, REECE to get a 75 plus again.
Yeah, like if that's fine weather up there for the Broncos, he would certainly be above Latrell, above Cleary. I think even in the wet, Cleary's hands on. He's going to be getting all the kicking meters. Panthers will still be scoring, I would say, at least 3+ tries. They are an absolute machine again this year. Storm will be up for it, but it does help Walsh. It doesn't cement him, but it certainly helps him. So I think, back to Brad's question of Latrell or Cleary, if they are your only two captain options, with the wet weather, by the looks for us, feel free to update us, anyone, if you're in Sydney and you've got better weather intel than us. But from what I can see there, I would be playing it safe with a Cleary over a Latrell. Now, if it was a bright, sunny Sydney afternoon, that bunny's left edge is really lethal. And Latrell up against not only Galvin there at half, but also Tuala as the centre matchup. That is a very favourable matchup. So,
Yeah.
if they manage to get sunshine, I would be all for that, and I'd be understanding of coaches. If it's in the wet, I'd probably play it safe.
Right, I'm just going to go through a few more questions that have popped on. We've got Lloyd Goodridge. Have Haas and Yo debating whether to get Twal or bring in Turbo to strengthen the wing fullback. So Twal we've also brought into our Fantasy HQ team, and we did talk quite a bit about Turbo, and we do think he's a good purchase. But personally, this week Haas I would be holding. He's had a week's rest. He's come out previously after a week's rest last season with a shoulder niggle, and then come back to score 100 on his return game. So that would have me a bit worried about him. And then Yo, on the flip side, up against the Storm tomorrow night, it's the sort of his first game where it should be a tight contest. And having played only 46 minutes last week and roughly 60 minutes the weeks prior, if it is a tight game, I do suspect he goes and plays 80 minutes. So Lloyd, personally, I'd be holding on both of them, although I do think Twal and Turbo are good options. Would you agree there, Frost?
Yeah, I definitely like what you say there, Stevo. I'd be holding them both. Yes, Haas is a risk, but I mean, 30,000 people jumped off him last round. There'll be another probably few thousand this round. And look, reality is he could go out and hurt that AC joint either in a hit up or tackle at any moment, 2 minutes in, 40 minutes in. But I think you give him 1 week. And, if that does happen, you get rid of him. And until that point, you're probably not needing 12. Yao hopefully sort of ticks along. I mean, if Yao ticks along at 53, 55 average, he's not hitting that 60 mark that we would have liked, but, if he loses 30, 40k before Origin, it's probably not the worst this season, especially with how poorly the mids have been. And if you've got two and Leo, Makasini, Chester, they're at centre wing fullback, you probably need to shore up that wing fullback a little bit. So Turbo would be looking like a much more sensible option when it comes to the balance of your side. But only you will know that, Lloyd, without us being able to see your team.
What else do we hear? Cameron Hill. Sorry, I'm ranked in top 100. I don't have to drop into the desperation trades. The chin has my C. Cameron Hill, congratulations, mate. Top 100. I hope you stay there. Hope you've joined our league, because you would be highly ranked if you're there. Where in Auckland do you live? Frosty? Neither of us are from Auckland. We are both living in New Plymouth. So we're a bit further south of Auckland. About halfway between Auckland and Wellington, for anyone that isn't aware of where New Plymouth is. He also asks, should I swap Isaac Yo for Latrell? I'm loving the fact that a few people are jumping on Latrell this week because I mean, I'm channeling that, getting him going for it. I've got a cat popping out of nowhere here. Might just have to let that one out. If you want to talk about, would you trade Yo for Latrell, Frosty?
Yeah, I think dangerous at the moment, especially with the carnage we've just had. We just spoke about him before. You know, he's not averaging the 60 or the 62 we envisioned when we started with him. For any coach that started with Yao, but he's still doing a job in that mid position for us, and he's not losing a huge amount of money. So if we can get him through to Origin, no buys, no suspensions, no injuries, I think he will actually have done a job. And then flick him for Origin, I think it's just too sideways. Yao's probably going to give you a guaranteed 45 to 55, where Latrell could spit out a 30 to 35. And if that's the week after you trade Yao out, you'll be kicking yourself. So trades are super valuable, a little bit sideways to me. Just hold fire for now.
Right, I've got a question from Cody Chilcott, not in the YouTube, but he's private messaged me. Thoughts on Fletcher Hunt's long-term value? Need to trade Leo and not sure who for, and can't trade up more than Hunt. So he's got about 350k there as his limit. Thanks, Cody, for getting in touch. Love your question. I've sort of said long-term value isn't great, I don't think, with Fletcher Hunt. I think he will make a bit of money the next couple of weeks, but then it sort of gets to that time where Ponga or Dylan Brown are coming back, and then all of a sudden Fletcher might lose his position. I think when they're at full strength, he's certainly not in the team. So do you recommend bringing him in, or is there someone else that he can sort of rent for 2 weeks rather than Leo to make him some cash? He doesn't need to play the player in a 17.
Yeah, I think that's key information there out at the end from Cody, not needing to play him. I think Papa Lee, he's, like we just mentioned before, he's got a runway of probably 10 plus weeks with Iongi needing surgery on that syndesmosis injury. So it's sort of gone from 6 to 8 to 8 plus, and you imagine that's more on the side of 10 to 12 than it is 8 or 9. And if you're not needing to score him, Joash Papali can sit at your 21 man spot and do whatever he does. If he scores a 20, scores a 20. If he scores a 50, great. He'll start taking away money in a few rounds' time. But yeah, Hunt's a super dangerous one. We just spoke about trades. Steve, you think he's safe until Ponga gets back, which makes sense because the halves pairing should really be in the halves. But I just have a odd feeling maybe they don't, and they just have as many X Factor players as they can on the field, and there's risk of Fletcher Sharp going back there. So
I like to think he does. The Knights do keep Fletcher Sharp and Dylan Brown as the halves when Brown's back, and Fletcher doesn't go to fullback. Fletcher Sharp, that is. So for me, I think Hunt does keep his place in the team until Ponga's back. We'll move on to some more questions here. Malabar, he's been keen in the comments. Love to see it. He's also brought Latrell in this week. So a few people bring Latrell in. Like us, though, he's a bit scared to put the C on him. Someone here, Negan, is saying, I'm going Farley over Papali, former Penrith junior, so we'll be back the talent here. Dragons to get their first win. I think if the Dragons do get their first win, Negan, I think we will see Farley keep his spot, and I will be bringing him next week if he goes all right. So I think he will make a bit of money. And I am tempted to go this week, and that would be so I could upgrade Reed Marnie to like a Damien Cook or someone. But I'm sort of still have to play that out.
I mean, the big one with me when it comes to Farley is he was all the hype in the preseason, and then he just lost the spot. And it seemed like at the 11th hour to 2. 2 got 2 or 3 rounds. Flanagan thought, oh, no, this young guy's not up to it. And he didn't even go to Farley then. You know, he wasn't first cab off the rank. He went back to Sloane, tried and tested. Wasn't much for a week. And then he's gone Farley. So, you know, for me, Farley's just a long way down the pecking order all of a sudden. And, you know, the job security just cannot be great if that is the case.
We have Negan also continues. Seb's firing will give Flano some fire. I think that's in regards to the Dragons having a good showing. So yes, we discuss it. Flano is going to be under the pump if they lose one or two more games. So I think if they lose this week, honestly, it could be close. And personally, I think they should consider doing that. Cleary it is then for Brad Thompson for captain. We are still 50-50 on ours. I'm sort of considering Walsh, and I will be making that decision by about 9:40, I imagine. Malabar, wish fantasy did boost trades like Supercoach. That would be, I wouldn't mind it actually if they had like your Super Week where you get a boost, you can have 3 trades instead of 2. I think last week it would have been used by a lot of players, and that would have made it, I picked up about 13,000 ranks, so it would have been harder if there was a boost. So maybe it is better if it's not there. Taranaki Hardcore, thank you, be a genius. If you're a Taranaki local, do shout out. Cameron Hill, Haas to 12 is sideways with 200k in the bank, and Poss same minutes with same score. Cheers, guys, or should I stay? Haas to 12, I personally wouldn't do it this week. I'd just wait and see what Haas is like. At the end of the day, you're still going to have money in the bank to go Haas to 12 next week if you desperately need to. But you'll be absolute kicking yourself if Haas comes out and scores 80 plus and looks fit again. But hey, he could go out, only play 40 minutes, score a 40, and you look like a genius. So choice is yours, Cameron. Brad again also did the necessary and binned Marnie. Brought in the nose, Crossland. Now, Frosty, this is one I'm seriously considering. So I've been playing around today. I can't go without making 2 trades. I can't go to Grant, Brayley, or Cook. And I'm seriously considering binning Marnie and going to Crossland. Talk me out of it.
Oh, gee, talking about the nose, far out. How was that guy looking after that game? Absolutely sandwiched between 2 massive bodies and looked worse for wear. On the fantasy front, I mean, he come back on 2 minutes later and continued to rip in with that broken nose. He is a tackle bot, but he has got super busy. There will be the odd week against teams, if they run into, say, a Manly who like to shift it early, although that may change under Foz. But there will be some weeks where he only hits the mid-30 tackles, and as a result, his ceiling will pretty much be mid-30s because he doesn't have a lot of running meters, doesn't have a lot of kicking meters, and therefore doesn't have the tackle bust and the offloads. And you take a couple of negatives on. For the most part, he's shown that he'll be 45 to 50 and at his price at about 550k. That is the best option if you can't get up to those guns. So, yeah, I think wise there for Brad and anyone else in that similar sort of position. He shouldn't let you down. He's got a runway until around 12, and then you'll need to look at your sort of origin by cover options.
Next question we have. Art of 8 Limbs. Tonight is going to be a hard watch not owning Turbo or Farmworth. We're right there with your limbs. Art of 8 Limbs. We won't have either. And I am worried because if Farmworth goes great, particularly since we're bringing in Latrell Mitt, if Farmworth pops off and Latrell Mitt has a quiet one, it's sort of egg on our face. So, yep, with you there. Joint Desert. Would you trade REECE WALSH for Nicola Willis? Love a bit of government funds debate. Nicola Willis, yep. I'd probably rather have REECE WALSH, if I'm honest. Probably rather have him running the economics as well.
I'll tell you what, after the ring around they're giving us teachers, that is the last name I want in this chat, eh? So,
I'll just put it out there.
Take a hike.
Just put it out there. I am not a teacher. Hold on. What do we have here?
Tell you what, shout out very quickly to Art of 8 Limbs because very busy on the comments on the YouTube video. So certainly been seeing you there. So I appreciate the support. keep it going. Hopefully, your season's off to an all right start there.
Todd Mears, I went a bit against the grain. Edwards for Isako and Reed to Crossland. Thoughts? Now, you're still an owner of Edwards, Frosty. Are you holding at the moment?
Yeah, 100% am. Yeah, was mind blown to see that 22, especially when they scored, what was it, 40 points or 48 points. And I didn't actually know he could actually score that low. So that's the main reason I had him. I thought sort of 35 would be the floor scoring for him, but he's proved me wrong. But knee-jerk reaction, if you're getting rid of him, he will bounce back. Yes, they've got the Storm, so it might not be too pretty this week, and that's probably what you're worried about. But after that, the way the Panthers are playing this year, he will be in around that 45 average in the long run. Say around 12. When it comes to Origin, he's most likely the Blues fullback again, and then you can trade him. But I would be holding for now. He will do a job in around that 45 to 50 average. So, yep, sure, this week might be ugly against the Storm, but hold through the rough seas. Trade's valuable, and Isako certainly isn't a fantasy gun, so very risky.
Isako has half decent base because he is goal kicker, scores the odd try, but he's a bit of rocks of diamonds at the same stage. So for me, it's a no Edwards to Isako, but a definite Reed to anyone. Reed is just in the bin. He is useless. 60 minutes max at the moment, it looks, and he misses more tackles than I miss hot meals at home playing netball and cricket. So, which is borderline every night.
Hey, what? Just looking, Isako is averaging 51 at the moment.
Oh,
so
get him in.
I think that's probably part of it. But he has scored a try in 3 of the 4 games, and the one he didn't, he did score a 24. So probably inflated stats there slightly. He's run for 150 plus meters in 3 of the 4 again, and the one he didn't, he's down to 24. So promising signs, but it is sideways, and I would be holding fire.
So Cameron Hills, he reckons Knights Sharp will return to fullback. Brown returns to Sandon stays. Hunt gone. Possible scenario likelihood. Again, we've mentioned it. I don't think that happens. I think Hunt stays at fullback over Sandon because I think they want to have Brown and Sharp playing as their halves because that's the combo going forward. David O'Sullivan there.
Here he is. Been hanging out for this one.
I've seen this in the chat. I haven't actually read it yet. So here we go. I see the shitty Bulldogs have scored a miserable 7 tries this season. Is it worth having any Bulldogs players in your lineup considering they are the most gutless club in the comp? P.S. Dogs are shit. Thank you, David O'Sullivan, for reaching out. Do appreciate your comment. Do subscribe as well for everyone else. If you are watching right now and on the live stream, would love it if you give us a subscribe. But yes, for me, I'm an anti-Bulldogs fan. I don't mind them because they've got Carraz, and that's the only one I want to see score tries. But, yeah, for me, they're a gutless club, gutless team. Shocking on attack. I mean, if you have to move Burton to centre and put Crichton at 5'8" on your left side in attack, there's got to be big problems in the team. So, Frosty, make it quick. Do you agree with David O'Sullivan?
Well, didn't realise this was turning out to be a Dogs hating session team, so pump the brakes. But hey, Carraz has got 2 of those 7 tries, so there's a positive. And he's got a 61 and a 49 in 2 of the 3 games. So dual position, certainly an option there, David. So get him in your side whenever you can. Outside of that, I would be staying clear for now. But if Jacob Preston doesn't make Origin when his price drops, snap him up and look, you could have 2 or 3 dogs there. So battling away, but a couple of guys are putting out output. So Galvin and Burden are floating around the 50s as well, and everyone's got to just relax a little bit. And Galvin's 20, and a lot of chat this week's been around what Cleary was doing at 20 and Andrew Johns and that sort of thing. I mean, Nathan Cleary, everyone was berating him and thought he was too safe and didn't have enough tackle flair or attack himself. So the future's bright. Be patient. I know it's frustrating, big club, but haters are gonna hate, and we'll just keep on marching on.
Frost King, this is not you, Frosty, but someone else. Frost King 420. He says Furby captain. Herbie Farmworth, I imagine that is. And yes, I think a great captaincy option. I think as long as the weather's all right there, not a bad option to go Herbie. So chuck it on him. Let us know if you have Frost King. Brad again there. He's got us a $51 multi with the Finns, the Dogs, the Panthers, Dragons, Broncos, Sharks, Raiders, Tigers. I don't mind it. I don't see the Wars in there though, Brad. So bit disappointed there. Brad, if you could let us know what team you actually support, I'd love to know. Cameron Hill, Dragons 5 wingers used so far. Stay away from Farley. For a week or two before Flano starts picking wingers from Jersey flag team. And one thing I will note, if Flano is actually looking at losing his job, which is a genuine chance, you never know who's going to get selected on that wing. So that is a risk for Farley. And maybe a reason you hold 2 if you don't need to play him this week. He's not going to lose your money. You might lose potentially 30k sort of thing max if Farley goes all right. But then if he does and he looks good, you make that trade next week. You haven't lost money. Yes, you still pocket about 20k. Frost King again there. Walsh's floor too low, very risky. Herbie safer. I would definitely say Herbie is a safer option than Walsh. But Walsh is sort of that X factor against Titans. You never know what he could score. Art of 8 limbs. I'm 100% on Walsh for captain. Need to jump ranks and everyone else going Cleary. I tell you what, I'm doing it right now on my personal team. I'm going, I'll even show a bit of proof here.
You're joining Art of Limbs, are you?
Here's my
follower. That's the way.
Here's my personal team. I'm just going REECE WALSH captain, Nathan Cleary vice, and I'm going to go read out, and I'm going to bring in the broken nose man himself, Crosland, and confirm that trade. And let's see how long that lasts.
Here it is.
There I have. Crosland, what's he actually averaging at the moment? Averaging 45.8, which will be a lot better than a Reed Marnie 10 that he'll get this week.
Yeah. And I think to Frost King's point just before around Walsh's floor and Herbie, if you remember, Steve, there was a game last year, Thursday night footy game, and we were on the messenger to each other talking captaincy options, and we had a late change, both of us, to Herbie Thursday night footy, and it turned out to be in the wet, and he battled and battled, and I think he got over the line with about 4 minutes to go to scrape a 46 or a 48. So do we have a weather update, Steve? You've got it there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the ground right now. It looks fine, to be honest. So, I mean, the ground's chopped up a little bit looking at it. They're just going through the warm-ups at the moment, but there doesn't look like there's any rain. It might just be a little bit dewy on top, a little bit slippery, a little bit of turf coming up. But nah, I'm picking the Dolphins to score a good 40 points. Herbie to be a great option. Yeah. Moving on, I have got a private message from David O'Sullivan. He says, no subscribe, shit answer. Galvin, biggest cat in the NRL. So he doesn't agree with you, Frosty. And we do know this David O'Sullivan, and he is a good friend of ours. So we do know he has subscribed. He actually loves us. Moving on here, let's read some more out quickly. Levi Hawkins, who I do see quite often on our comment sections on our videos. So shout out Levi. Love your support, mate. Hey boys, do you think I should get Haas? I just want him up the Warriors forever. Do I think you should get Haas now? No, not at all. I'm not sure how you bring him in unless you're trading out Terrell May or someone like that. So, if you've got him though, I do recommend holding him. Thanks, Levi. William there. How do you think Cobbo will go tonight? I started the season with Cobbo. I had high expectations, and he is that genuine rocks of diamond. So with a couple tries, he might get a 50. If he doesn't get a couple tries, he'll probably bust out with a 20 or something like that. So tonight, though, I'm hopeful he goes all right. He's outside Herbie. That will mean Herbie might get a couple line breaks, couple tries. Try assists, sorry. I don't own either, though, so I'm happy if they don't go well. Jackson Ford, Kobe Hetherington, in for me this week. That's from Jericho 80. So good options. Jackson Ford going superb for the Warriors. Kobe Hetherington, cheaper option that has a bit of X factor there. Peter Taylor, how many points will Marnie score this week? Put a quick number on it for me, Frosty. Frosty's not talking, so we'll move on.
Who was that? Reed.
Reed Marnie, yeah. What? Give us just a quick points total for us.
Yeah, I'll go 35 to 38.
35 to 38. I mean, if you own him, it's just about a hold if he goes 38, somewhere around there. For me, I'm going to go sub 30, more like a 25. I think he'll go a little bit better than last week. I have just made the trade, though. I've traded Marnie out for Crosland. I'm holding my other trade. Who do we have there? Levi Hawkins asked another question. Reed Marnie funeral is today. Don't want to look him up in my team anymore. And I'm right there with you. I'd rather see the broken nose of Crosland. Frost King. Most Dragons had the worst score of the year versus the Titans. I'll say one that didn't. That was Hamish Stewart. He looks superb. So hopefully he goes good again this week off the back of his 71 last week against the Titans. Luke Field. What's Josh's scoring this week? That's Papa Lee for the fullback for Eels. We talked about him earlier. I'm not too high on him. I think he's going to average around that mid to high 20s, early 30s. Maybe have the odd game of a 50, but I don't think he's going to be a big cash cow like a few people are saying. But I'll just go on a flat 30 for him this week. You agree with that, Frosty, quickly? Frosty, you still with us? Right, I'll move on. Frost King asks, Kinney will outscore Reece.
I am strung away here, Steve, but got you slightly delayed.
Kinney will outscore Reece this week. Watch this space. And I have Rico and no Kinney. I take it that's Reece and no Kinney. Negan, is Kobe Hetherington a pod? Or is that 63 points last week a one-off? Do you want to answer that one, Frosty?
Who was one off?
Hetherington. Is he a 1 week wonder with his 63 last week?
I'd certainly give it another week. Jumping on 1 week, don't go too early. Give it another, and if you can back it up, then he would enter that calculation of coming in.
Right, moving on to the next questions. How old are you two? Joint Dezza, he's found out where we live. We're from New Plymouth. Now he's asking our age. I'll just say we're both in our early 30s. I'm 33. Frosty must be 31 by memory. Is that right, Frosty?
Yeah.
Thoughts on a second NRL in the South Island? Frosty, I'm just going to, if you just want to hang up the call and rejoin us, and I'll keep plodding away. Oh, there you can see my OBS we have. Now let's go back to Frosty himself. Next question. Do you think Haas plays? I brought him in. Should I go Papa Lee and Brayley? Levi, if you just want to re-put in there, is that Papa Lee from the Eels? Or is that Papa Lee from... I'm assuming it's Papa Lee from the Eels to get the money for Brayley. I wouldn't do that trade. Not at the moment. If it's Papa Lee from Penrith, I'd be more on it. But I do think Haas plays this week. I think he's had his 1 week off and it was a bit precautionary. Stop slagging off. That's Connor, my boy Reed. One of the great dummy Haas. Well, I tell you this for free, Connor.
Right, I think I might be back here, Steve-O.
Great.
Let me know if that's not delayed.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I've got you.
Yeah, perfect.
Technical issues.
So Connor Devlin, he's put a comment in there. Reed, one of the great dummy halves. Just quickly, Frosty, how delusional is Connor?
Honestly, I was gutted when he left the Dogs. I loved when he come back to the Dogs because he's a Dogs junior. Went to the Eels and come back, and I think he really got a tough hand. He's a bit shafted there. Um, Bailey Haywood still doesn't really make much sense to me, and he's not playing 80, and it's a bit of a shambles. So he has been Origin level hooker. So I'm actually with Connor there. I do think he's a classy hooker, and certainly can't understand why now two clubs aren't giving him that 80-minute role because he can do it. But yeah, he's just having a tough time at the moment, and unfortunately might not ever bounce back to an 80-minute role. Again, it's the NRL landscape, and most clubs don't favour it for whatever reason.
I do worry that he does score right this week, and I've just traded him out for Crosland. Jericho, South 13 plus. I love that. I'm channeling the Fafita and Latrell big scores this week. Levi, put the house on the Warriors, boys. Thanks, Levi. I won't be putting the house on the Warriors, but I do hope they get up over the Dragons. King 420. I'll stick with the chin, but I'm only like 80 points outside of top 50. Well done, Frosty. King 420. That's a great start for your season.
I wish I was there.
His one trade this week is Hayward out for Stewart. Lance Tupaya. Tapani coming straight in. Rest putting the whistle away. That's not one I'd be making, but I hope it goes well for you. At least you know over the Origin period. He's not playing Origin, but a little bit risky if you ask me. You want to butter chicken. That strawberry sunset. You want to butter chicken. I'll tell you what, I'm actually having butter chicken for tea tomorrow night. So I've already got it planned on the way home from rugby on Easter Friday. Butter chicken for me. So happy days. Connor Devlin there. I want Frosty's thoughts on Cody Walker captain this week. I think he is going to tear the Dogs right edge a new one. And just quickly, we have Cody Walker in loop for our Fantasy HQ team. So if that does happen, happy days for the HQ team, Frosty.
Now look here, Dev, pushing your luck there, son. Cody Walker will not be ripping the Dogs right edge. Jacob Preston will be burying that guy 10 feet under. So we'll try that once and won't be going there again. So Cody Walker, he can go a sub 30 and we'll just not loop him in. Fafita can cop a 20 because I've made the mistake of getting rid of him. Latrell Mitt, he can pop off because we need him. 80 plus. And the winger who's the try scorer slipped my mind. Johnson, he can also take a hike. No tries for him, but watch him get plenty. So Cody Walker, in all seriousness, he has a chance. I mean, Galvin, they're a little bit of a shambles. I'd like Crichton back there on the right edge to shore all of that up, but it'll be an interesting watch at 6:05 p.m. New Zealand time tomorrow.
Right, Frosty, I've just brought our team up on the stream here. This is our HQ team. We currently have the captain on Cleary. You've just seen my idea, and I've gone Walsh as my captain against the Titans this week. What do you reckon we do? We are ranked 13,000, so not in a bad position. Team looks all right. We've brought Twal and Latrell Mitchell in. Do we go all out and go REECE WALSH as our captain?
Oh, gee, it scares me, Steve-O. The rank's not too bad, and we, a good week off this week, climbing to probably 6,000, 7,000, and being right there at the point end where we sort of want to be, 6 rounds in. Now, if Walsh goes for a 25 to 30, we are sliding the ranks into the 20,000. So, game of inches. But
what about Latrell
it was a
Mitt?
depressing round a couple of rounds ago. Yeah, wow. Depressing round a couple of rounds ago. The round from hell. I mean, let's maybe spice it up, turn the excitement factor up, the nerve factor up, and
I reckon we
go one of these two blokes.
I reckon we go one of these two.
I do like Walsh though.
I reckon Latrell Mitt or Walsh. What do you reckon? I reckon we go one of them. Let's just do it.
I mean, online it did look that there's meant to be a little bit of weather around Sydney. How much that is, I don't know. But
Should we go Walsh?
I mean, Dogs will be up for it. I think the defense will be ramped up, and if it is a little bit wet, I think that'll be enough for Latrell not to go massive. Like he might still go 50 to 60, but not that 70 plus. So I think if Walsh is looking at finer conditions, the Titans, like I mentioned earlier in this, Titans' edge defense is just horrendous. So hopefully it's him making the final pass or the run through, and it's not the centre just touching it on.
Let's do it. I'm putting it on REECE WALSH. We'll leave Nathan Cleary as the vice.
Beautiful. Here we go, eh? Lock in, Boughton, enjoy the ride.
All right, jumping back into questions. We only have about 10 minutes to go. Thoughts on Turbo score tonight? We've sort of talked about it. We both think he's a great option. I would say he's going to average 50 most weeks. So I'd say 50 plus. Have cash in the bank. Reed and Couchman to Haas. That's Levi. Just got to have him. FOMO, I guess. I mean, you don't usually go wrong having Haas in your team. So I'm certainly not against it.
I mean, I think it is a massive call, though. Like, coming off the AC joint, if you don't have him, I don't think it's a rush to get him in. Like, I think you can wait this week. And if he gets through it, and you want him for that 6 weeks before Origin, bring him in. But, yeah, if you're making those moves just for him to, say, blow that AC joint and not get through his minutes, put out a 20 to a 40, you will be kicking yourself. So have a look at some other options quickly. One, do you need to make trades at all? And two, there's some other ones. If you don't have a Twile or a Stewart, those sort of ones might do the trick and still save some money.
Right, Levi Hawkins here, 24 for Marnie, rubbish man. I agree. I reckon it could be somewhere around there. Falls off tackles, gets taken off for Sonny Luke. Brad Thompson there, he's let us know. He is a Dragon/Warrior supporter. How unlucky it is to be a Dragon supporter. That's disgusting.
Half times. But way to stay with them, eh? Loyalty.
Not sure how to say this name, but CP will go with. Sorry I'm late. Tempted to captain Herbie tonight, as I think Cleary is capped at 65 versus the Storm, and Walsh 70 with no goal kicking. Herbie getting his scores with no effort lately. Am I crazy? No, I'm going to answer that one. You're not crazy. I am all aboard the Herbie captaincy if you have him tonight. And as you've seen, or you might not have, but if you have seen it, we are going REECE WALSH captain for our HQ team, and I'm going to him in my personal team. So if he scores a 25, you might not see me back next week. Cameron Hill there. Report from Wayne Bennett was the Cheese will be playing next week in Perth. So the Cheese is someone that I will give 1 week watch and potentially bring in my team as buy coverage over the Origin period, because if he is playing those 3 Origin weeks, he's going to be very handy to have in your team and be a backup for Mike Crosland. Mr. R, Anya Frosty, I assume that might be one of your kids in your class there, Frosty.
That's a good man from work. So
from work.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Enjoy the Easter break and the holidays coming up. Well deserved.
OM, what's your guys' ranks? We are ranked 13,000. We did start inside the top 1,500, so we have blown out a couple of weeks. And we're both on our personal team, so ranked just outside of that. Hopefully making inroads with a couple good moves. The last couple of years, I've been ranked 600, 800, and 2,000 the last 3 years. So hopefully, it's sort of the goal each year to be inside the top 1K. Levi Hawkins there supports the Eels. Cameron Hill. Joshua will lose money this week. And then if he repeats, then makes possibly 80 to 100K. Did the same last year. So I'll be waiting this week. He's got a break even of 38. I don't think he gets that. And then if he looks all right, he's a potential pickup next week at near bottom price. Reed is absolute cheeks. I think that's putting it nicely. Lance Tupaia. Frosty made it, mate. Made it awkward there for a minute. I'm assuming that's back to the delayed talk.
Yeah, sorry about that, team, mate.
We've got him back though. Frosty has a few problems, and I'm the one that actually has to do all the work here. Frosty's just sitting in with
Yeah.
us. Cameron,
Trying to go through my team right now because time's getting away. 8 minutes. So was sitting on no trades, but I've actually got Ryan Cashman still. So I think I need to get rid of him because sitting there for the next 4 weeks. Oh, what is it? 3 weeks now. Probably for the play, but
pushing on here. Frosty's old interweb. The hamster needs to be free to charge up the electricity. We're in the Wops here in New Zealand, to be honest, in New Plymouth. So, no, we're actually not. We're in centre of the town, basically. Small town it is. Levi Hawkins, Sharks. Is that just a... I'm not sure what he's referring to there. Latrell Mitchell with the C this week. We've tossed it up. I'm not against it. I do think he goes all right. He's averaging over 60, so you can't go too wrong there. Cameron Hill again. Personally, Reed was shafted hard by the Dogs. On Fantasy through, he has an easy hard bypass. He was an easy hard bypass. Frost King. Okay, I will captain Herbie. Good luck me. Top 50, here we come. Very interested to see how you go, Frost King. And I hope you do stay inside that top 100. OM there. I've got Walsh, Cleary, and Herbie. Who should I captain Herbie? Herbie does play tonight. If you want to lock it in early, you can. For me, I still reckon Walsh is capable of scoring 70 each week at the moment. So I'm going Walsh. Our team's going Walsh. Haas captain is a pod of pods. No one will be doing it. That is true, Levi. And if you're bringing him in this week, like you're talking, and you captain him, you're bloody crazy, to be honest with you. So don't do that. Because until he's an hour out from the game, he could be pulled out. So if you are bringing him in, have a backup plan, and please don't captain him. But if you do captain him, he scores 100 this week, you look like a genius, and I look like a fool if you bring up these receipts. We're a bit behind, 15 minutes from kickoff, said Cameron. Raining in Sydney Friday and Saturday, so it might be fine tonight, but raining the next couple of nights, so that doesn't go too well for Cleary for a bit of attack. Lance Tupai, you must be from Hawke's Bay, Steve-O. I can confirm I am not. Proud Taranaki man myself. Brad Thompson, Marnie needs to go to the Super League. I'm actually not against that. He's pretty washed.
That's rough going, eh?
He's pretty washed up. For a 50-point averaging fantasy hooker to now, single digits borderline, he's pretty washed up. Todd Mears, up the Wars and the Highlanders. Not sure if that's a friend of yours, Frosty.
Love to hear that, eh?
The Landers down that Super Rugby talk. We're big fans of Super Rugby as well. I'm a Hurricane supporter. Our local team here, though, is the Chiefs. Cameron Hill, Walsh, never to fill R. Herbie or Chin, if your season is over, then try Walsh for shits and giggles. I wouldn't say our season's over, but if Walsh goes out and gets to 25, it might as well be. So, 5 minutes now to kickoff time. I traded Marnie to Grant, round 3. Well done, Frost King. No wonder you're on the top 100 and we're not. There's no / Warrior supporters. You're Dragons. You're with us or against us. Basically there, yeah. You either support the Wars or anyone else. So up the Wars.
Hey, what? How about the auto moment when we went up to Mount Smart, Bulldogs, Warriors, a couple or 3 years ago, Steve-O, and we went to get some food afterwards and realised there's nothing at the bottom of the street. So
yeah.
Had up against the grain in my Bulldogs jersey after copping a loss, up against the grain of a tidal wave of about 20,000 Warriors fans just copping it left, right and centre. So that was a good times.
I thoroughly enjoyed that game as well and getting the dub. And walking against the flow of traffic there. I was basically your bodyguard, you could say. Moving on, last couple of ones before we end this. Herbie captain, Tui Bra, well done. Good luck, mate. Traumit or Tommy Turbo from Connor Devlin. Real quick, Frosty, I want to hear a name. I don't want a reason.
Turbo.
Turbo. Okay. We've brought Trellin. Frost King, he's in our league. He's given us his name there. He's 8th, in our league. Well done, Frost King. Glad to see it. Herbie to the Roosters now. That's a good one. Captain Adam this weekend. Is that Adam Reynolds? That would be bloody risky, that one. Jordan Dixon, red hot question out of the Smash and Bro League. Can we have a shout out for Alex that the Roosters suck? Well, Alex, if you are listening, shout out to you, and I can confirm the Roosters do suck, and signing DCE was a shocking decision. They should have gone with the young guns they got there, because DCE is washed up, and I think the Roosters are as well.
So when you're cheating the salary cap and you're still stinking up the joint, it's tough times.
Got to ask what you're doing. White Tanifa, he's told Jordan to get his head out the gutter, mate. How the heck do I have this number 1 next to me? Must be a Rooster thing. Frost King there, 772, but we top 100. Sorry, 727 rank. Great rank there, Frost King. Happy to see it. I do hope you have a good week this week and you make the top 100. As we see it now, Dolphins are lining up there, not far from coming out of the sheds. I'm itching to go switch over and watch that. Jordan Dixon, my man. White Tanifa, I'm done with this chat. I'm unsubscribing. Thanks, Tanifa. I don't think he was too keen on the Roosters getting a bit slag off there. But no, safe to say I'm not a Roosters fan. I am a Queensland supporter. Frosty is the New South Wales supporter, but not even he can support the Roosters.
Nah.
Cameron Hill there. This might be the last one. Great chat, fellas. Isn't it great to chat footy? Enjoy your weekend. And Frosty, I think that's a great way to sum it up. So thank you, Cameron, and thank you everyone for listening. Fantasy chat and NRL chat in general. Love it. Hopefully we all have a good weekend this week. I'm channeling some Latrell Mitch and REECE WALSH energy. So a bit of toilet water this weekend will get us the dub, and will get us 80-point score again from Walsh against White Tanifa there, just jumping in with a bit of a threat there after saying he's unsubscribing. Watch the group chat, Steve-O. Not too happy there from the Roosters supporter.
Is that Buttery 2.0?
Yeah. Buttery, man. We might have to talk about Butters on a podcast coming up. So not a fan of Butters. Yeah. He's a bit of a baby, and we might explain that in a bit more detail later. So thank you everyone for watching. We're going to switch over now. Thank you, Frosty. Any last words?
Nah, really appreciate the support, team. Awesome first outing for us. Really enjoyed it. Love the engagement. Could do this talking footy day in, day out. But for now, enjoy your round 5. Enjoy your Thursday night footy. Go the Dogs.
If you did enjoy it, please let us know. Do subscribe. And if there's enough light there, we will do another one next week, or when we can on a Thursday before kickoff. So thank you, everybody, and see you next time. We appreciate your support for the Fantasy HQ podcast, all things NRL fantasy. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify and Facebook, and most importantly,